Hello, welcome to my channel, and I'm just going to say that everything I read here in this video is allegedly, because I'm not sure where they got their information from. But today we have missing Nancy Lynn Begg, I'm not sure how to pronounce her last name, Shoupp, maybe, forgive me if I'm not pronouncing it correctly. She went missing, it says April 28th, 1990, from Boulder, Colorado. It says she was only 26 years old. She was born June 29th, 1963, 5'2" to 5'6", and she weighed between 110 and 130 pounds. She had strawberry blonde hair, blue eyes, and freckles. Last seen wearing a beige or cream-colored pullover sweater, light gray slacks, and cream-colored pumps. Also missing is a red gym bag with unknown colored stripes on each end, which contained a change of clothing. She was last seen at 3:30 a.m. Like I said, everything is allegedly. On April 28, 1990, when she left a friend or co-worker's home in Boulder. The vehicle she was driving, a two-door dark green 1984, I don't know how to say that, was later found at her residence in Centennial, east of Littleton. Neighbors recall seeing the car parked in its usual space near her townhome at 7:10 a.m. So that means 3:30, 4:30, 5:30, 6:30, 7, 3.5 hours went by. A little bit more than 3 hours and 40 minutes went by before her vehicle was seen there. At the time of her disappearance, she was in the process of getting a divorce. Allegedly, there was an issue of domestic violence in the home. On April 29th, her husband was seen at work at a gas station with his children asleep in his car. A witness said there was a fire at the gas station dumpster at that time, but that he refused to call the fire department. She was expected to pick up her children. Foul play is suspected. So, yeah. And here's the NamUs case. Like I said, this is all allegedly. Individual seen alive at acquaintance's house in Boulder, Colorado, believed to be heading towards Littleton, Colorado. Case being handled by Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office. Strawberry blonde hair, shoulder length. It says it's straight. I don't know. Blue eyes. And here's a picture. It's pretty small. And then we go to the Charlie Project. It has two pictures. It says she was born June 29th, 1963, 5'5", 120 pounds. This says she left a male co-worker's home in Boulder, Colorado. She had spent the evening with a man and was on the way back home when she disappeared. She was supposed to stop at the home of her estranged husband to pick up their two small children by 4:30 a.m. She never arrived at his home, allegedly, and has never been heard from again. Her vehicle was found parked at her residence, 4800 block of East Hinsdale Place off Dry Creek between Holly and University in Littleton, Colorado. Off Dry Creek. Okay, neighbors recall seeing the car in its usual space around 7:10 a.m. And his car, her estranged husband's car, was allegedly there at that time also. Inside the home was neat and clean. Both vehicles were there? Who's going to drive the other vehicle unless she's driving it and he followed her there? Oh, that's not good. Right? I don't know. Nancy's friends and family say it's uncharacteristic of her to leave without contacting them or to miss work without notifying her employer that she would be absent. She worked for a computer conventions planning company in 1890, and it was uncharacteristic of her to miss work without calling. I wonder if they checked any cab companies or anything to see if anybody had dropped her vehicle off and then took a cab and then went and got another vehicle or anything. About 5 weeks before she disappeared, or something could have happened to her after she got home, but it really sounds like there was something going on there, doesn't it? But it's all allegedly. About 5 weeks before she disappeared, following a 5-year marriage, she and Stephen separated. They were in the process of a divorce, and she was seeing a co-worker. Her marriage had been troubled. It said the couple argued frequently, and there were allegations of domestic violence. According to her co-workers, Stephen harassed her after they separated by calling her at all hours and following her around. Over the Easter holidays in 1990, he took their children to visit his mother in Kansas without telling her, and while they were gone, she was worried she would never see them again. It was this incident that prompted her to file for a divorce. When interviewed by police, Stephen said Nancy had never shown up to pick up their children, and he had gone to her home at 7 a.m., but she wasn't there, and he kept the children with him. He was supposed to go to a sporting event with a friend that day, but instead he took his children to the zoo. He said he called Nancy and left a message on her answering machine, but when authorities checked the machine, there was no record of any such message. At 6:30 a.m., Stephen was at work at a gas station, and the children were asleep in his running car. A customer noticed a fire in the dumpster and told Stephen about it, and he refused to call the fire department and instead put it out himself. He didn't report Nancy missing. Her stepmother did. Stephen stopped talking to investigators a few days after she disappeared. Their 2 children were temporarily placed in care of social services, but later returned to him, and he took them and moved to Salina, Kansas to live with his mother. The couple's son, who was 3.5 when his mother disappeared, allegedly, now this is all allegedly, said that Stephen picked Nancy up by the neck while she was sleeping and carried her to the car, and they took a long drive down a black bumpy road on a buffalo ranch in the countryside. He said they saw airplanes during the trip. Stephen, the child said, put Nancy by a tree and left her there. By the time they returned home, the sun was coming up behind them. Stephen moved to Salina, Ohio after Nancy's disappearance and remarried. His second wife filed for divorce in 2009. Stephen was charged with stalking, aggravated menacing, and domestic violence a few months later. After she claimed he drove by her house following her places in public and threatened her life, he was convicted and sentenced to 18 months in jail. Nancy's red gym bag disappeared with her. It has stripes on each end and contained a change of clothing. She's described as a devoted parent. She left her last paycheck behind, and it's uncharacteristic of her to leave without warning. Her new boyfriend passed a polygraph test and was cleared of suspicion, but Stephen is considered the prime suspect in her disappearance. Foul play is suspected in her case, which remains unsolved. So she's missing from Boulder, Colorado, but she lived in Littleton, Colorado. So I was looking at Jane Doe's and comparing them to the distance of Boulder, Colorado, but maybe I should have been looking from Littleton. I don't know. So here's some Jane Does. I have one Jane Doe found in Brighton, Colorado, 1994, January 8th, estimated age 18 to 35. Estimated PMI is 1 year, 5'3" estimated. Remains located in a field near 54th Avenue and Marion Street. Maybe white, Native American, or Hispanic. All parts recovered. Brown hair, possibly frosted or highlighted hair. And I don't know if she dyed her hair or not. Small stature, silver spoon handle near the body. Unknown silver friendship with hearts. Is that a ring? Silver nugget, possibly a wedding band. And I don't know if that looks similar to her at all. Maybe the shape of the face, maybe. And that's an hour away from Boulder. And from Littleton, it's about an hour and a half. I don't know. The next one I have is Clear Creek County, Colorado, found in 1995. Estimated age 17 to 36. Estimated PMI 2 years. A skull was located near Echo Lake in rural Clear Creek County in 1995. And I don't know if that looks like her or not. Maybe. And that is about an hour and a half from Boulder, Colorado. And from Littleton, Colorado, it's about an hour away. I don't know. I'm going to look at it again to see if it looks like her. I really can't tell, honestly. But it's pretty close, and if you were going to drive for like an hour and then, yeah, maybe. There's cabins there. So a 3-year-old trying to describe it, you know. Trout fishing, cabins. Bumpy road. I bet that is a bumpy road. I bet that's a bumpy road. Oh, I bet it is a bumpy road. I bet that is a long drive on a bumpy road. There's interesting. Okay, so the next person I have is Adams County, Colorado. I don't know if it's male or female. They don't know the race either. It says found 2001. And remains found in a field just south of 56th Avenue and Pecos Street. So, I don't know. And then we have Lakewood, Colorado, found in 2013. Skeleton remains found in a cauldron in a vacated residence that was on the market to be sold. And I don't know how far away that is. I guess I should check, right? And that's pretty close. And what was the other one? Littleton, wasn't it? That's 26 minutes away. And then we have Weld County, Colorado. Someone was found. Estimated age 30 to 58 years old. Found in an unincorporated area. Mentions the clothing. So, I don't know. And the last one I had was found in Rye, Colorado in 2022 by a property owner. A flashlight was found in the pocket, a small pink coin purse, Tommy Hilfiger brand. Is that how you say that? Hilfiger. I don't know if there's no in there. Levi's women's jeans, size 8, Faded Glory hiking boots, black hooded button-up shirt. So those are the Jane Does that I decided to put in this video. If you have any information about her, you know, maybe somebody's been talking over the years. Maybe it's hearsay. You're not sure if you should come forward with the information. Maybe you came forward with it years ago. You're not sure if they still have it. Just contact authorities and let them know. Let them decide what's relevant, what's important. Don't forget to pray for her family and her loved ones. Feel free to leave comments and have a blessed day. Bye-bye.